A good lesson to be learned from this ammunition shortage would be to have oddball gauges and calibers included in your armory. Tap the thumbs up icon and we'll get started. So over the past year to 2 years, during this main ammunition shortage, I have noticed that when inventories would appear, oftentimes it would be in very unknown calibers or lesser used gauges of shotguns. For example, the most common shotgun gauges would be 20 gauge and of course number one being 12 gauge. Some of the most popular rifle or pistol cartridges would be 9mm, 40 caliber, 45 caliber, maybe even you could say 44 Magnum. Looking at some very popular rifle cartridges, 22 long rifle, 5.56, 308, 270, 30-06, 7mm Remington Magnum, 300 Win Mag, even 30-30 Winchester. Those are some of the most popular as far as shotgun gauges, pistol and rifle calibers. Now I would say you would want the bulk of your armory in those gauges and calibers because usually you can find more bulk deals and they just produce more of it. However, a big lesson to be learned from this shortage is you need to also have included in your armory some oddball gauges and calibers. For example, looking at shotguns, maybe you would also have 410 gauge, 16 gauge, 28 gauge, and maybe even a couple of those as a backup. Because a lot of times, some of the first products I saw on the shelves would be, for example, 28 gauge. I saw that on the shelf more than any other shotgun gauge out there during the main part of the shortage. And looking at pistol and rifle calibers. So for example, some of the main pistol calibers I saw, for example, 38 Special. That was one of the first bulk boxes that I was able to see. They still make a lot of revolvers, for example, in 38 Special. And I would even say 44 Magnum is somewhat of an oddball. I mean, it's not as popular. And you got 357 Magnum, and there's even 50 caliber. I think it's A and E. So there's various oddball pistol calibers that you can have as backup. And looking at rifle oddball calibers, thinking about some that I saw on the shelf during the main times of the shortage would be 25-06, 260 Remington, 223 Valkyrie. Occasionally I would see 300 Blackout or 6.5 Creedmoor, but even those were a little bit rare. But I regularly saw the 25-06 and the 223 Valkyrie as well. I saw 204 Ruger, also the AK-47 round. It's a 7.62 by, it's not the 51, I think it could be the 39. But the AK-47 and the SKS, those would be some good options to have because I did see some of that. It wasn't in bulk packs, but I would see 20 round boxes on several occasions of that. Also, the 17 HMR, that has been hard to find, but I have seen with quite regularity the 17 Winchester Magnum rimfire, which is a different version of the 17 caliber. It's got a little bit more powder behind it, but I did see that fairly regular. And the 308, I have seen a few boxes of that popping in and out. But I mean, perhaps you might look into some of the Weatherby specific calibers, for example, that they specifically manufacture They have a new cartridge out. I think it's 6.5 by 300 Weatherby Magnum. There's a lot of specific cartridges that they produce that not a lot of people shoot. So I think it's very important that you budget to have some oddball items in your armory. Big lesson to be learned here. And I hope you take this wisdom and run with it. It's been a lesson I've had to learn. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to inherit some of these oddball gauges and calibers from my grandfather and father. A lot of these are older type setups. They're not the modern sporting type setups that we have today, but in a pinch, if that's all you got, it's what you got. If you need to defend yourself or put some food on the table, something to think about. So leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on this topic? Tap the thumbs up icon, the subscribe button. Share this video. We do thank you for watching. Have a great day.